Hi, and welcome again. We are talking about bullies. Bullies in schools, bullies in workplace, and all over. And I have given some introduction about myself, and as you can see my background, this is who I am. I stand for the rights of all people and for standing against the evil and the rude and the ill behaviors of society and people who think they have the prerogative or the authority to downscale, to minimize and to oppress other people. I want to share with you today with regards to this bullying, and not only in our schools. And if you can go back to some of my other videos, you will hear my story on bullying. And we all have one or other experience in our childhood days. We as adults, we do remember how we have been bullied, etc. But we come to this stage and age in the 21st century where bullies has more people are affected by bullies, and the after effect of bullies is, according to my view, my understanding, have a much more detrimental effect on people than the pandemic have, than viruses have, because this virus of bullying and downgrading people has come from the beginning of ages, and we are at this stage. Doesn't mean that for all the centuries in this world we haven't escalated, we haven't evolved into better people, better humans than before. Now, fortunately, if I want to get into a rat race or a mindset of becoming negative about circumstances in our country and in the world, I usually go back to history and I remind myself about how it was in the beginning and how it was in the medieval times when people were not respected, when people were nothing and they were burned and slaughtered publicly. We are humans, people. And we as adults, we are the creators and co-creators of next generations of people. And if this is the result that we are looking at, I just quickly want to share with you. If I just look at this, bullying at schools, grade 10 learners in South Africa, and you listen to this.
But then when I found out that it's not rumors, it's actually true. Honestly, it was like somebody splashed me with cold water in my face. Like, I didn't expect it to be true. I didn't expect that she would take her life. She portrayed herself as a very happy person since she was friendly. Most people know her as a very friendly person. We're joined in by other learners who just want to speak on how school management has been handling this. Sissy, you are a grade 12 learner. How do you feel about Lufuno's passing and how the school is handling it?
My name is Nechipila Rashuma. Actually, I feel really bad about this because I feel like bullying is the one which is mostly dangerous. A lot of kids are killing themselves. A lot of kids are using substances just because of bullying. How many kids are dying out there because of bullying? How many kids are taking their lives because of bullying? It should be taken seriously. It's hard to me right now that the school is not taking it as serious as it is. right now other kids are killing themselves.
I agree. I totally agree with her. And I have been a facilitator and a trainer working in South Africa together with Department of Education. And that was, I refer back to 2000, in the early 2000s, 2003 to 5, and again in 2006, being part of the group of service providers to teach and to motivate and to help the school teachers to develop their communication skills, their classroom management skills, and as well how to manage conflict, etc. I totally believe that our teachers need more understanding and support with regards to how to manage these children in their classes in a manner that alleviates, diffuse, alleviate stress and also manage the conflict. Unfortunately, this kind of bullying is all over the world. If we just look in the Netherlands education system, if you go and read there, what they are saying that it has become a huge problem. Netherlands education.info. You can go and read about that and the percentages of the bullying in Netherlands. If we just look randomly about bullying in Europe, we can see that we aren't. In Greece, it's happening. In Italy, it's happening. It's happening all over, not only in Africa. If we look what's happening in, one moment, what is happening in, what's this one? New Zealand. What's happening in New Zealand with regards to bullying? They have a lovely campaign going here. And all famous people sharing their experiences of bullies at school.
We think that as adults, school is such a small part of our lives.
As a kid, I remember those problems being so big.
Trust me, the world is much bigger than school, but anyone that is an adult that has been bullied knows that.
So, may I share with you, not from a perspective of a academic, because I'm not an academic, although I am in the industry of academics and education and training and motivation. But an academic is a person who is only focused on the theory. And my suggestion to alleviate this pandemic of bullies that's killing our children at school, it's a worse pandemic. As I said, it's a much worse pandemic, and it should be handled with the utmost importance. Worse, not worse, but more severe than we handle this pandemic of a virus. But it seems to me that the bullies can't be contained. What are we going to do about it? And I, for myself, thought about my past and my history, venturing through 8 schools, being mocked and teased and thrown with stones by boys. And fortunately, I had an elder sister who could stand in for me, but the results of that is not good, because what happens is that one who is bullied will one day stand up and retaliate. So that person or that children, those children who bully others, they come out of homes where they are subjected to bullies, parents who are bullies. So it's unfair for society to think that only teachers should stop this bullying. It starts at home. It starts with our parents. It starts with what our children hear and see at home. But we as parents are the guilty parties of our children's behavior. Or we are the award winners for our children's behaviors and our children's performance. Because ultimately, we are their mentors. We are the first educators in the homes. And we cannot expect of teachers and corporate and the managing body of a school, of a college, to manage that and then ask, what are you going to do about it? No. We are asking parents, what are you going to do about it? And now we understand there are parents who couldn't care less. They couldn't care less whether the child even go to school. And that child is taking out, is exercising, is demonstrating frustration. And we in South Africa knows it all too well, because frustration comes way back during the segregation, the division of races, of cultures into different divisions of the country, because the leaders thought then it was a good plan to manage a huge country like ours in South Africa by sorting them according to race and culture into different areas. And they call it the Areas Act. There was I was then only, I think, 5 years old, or but that is, I must say, the Areas Act was even before I was born, and I was born in the late 60s. But I'm saying that the violence that especially girls use on innocent victims. I was innocent, a stutterer, but when I came out of a classroom, the next moment I felt what's his name on my back, a fist on my back, and next time a hit against my head, and words shouted towards me, calling me names. And that's why I am serious. You will not call me names. And do you see the attitude? Do you experience my firmness against this? But if we are not going to handle this with utmost seriousness, more than the pandemic. And the thing is, if we as teachers can, it's absolutely nearly an impossible task for a teacher to try and be a motivator, a psychologist, a facilitator, and then focus on the subject matter and motivate everybody to be able to excel in the subject and motivate everybody to deliver the content and the evidence of learning so that her class can excel and all the students can excel. I know I'm talking from experience. So the admin and her task and his task is all about teaching the content, and all of the extra skills is necessary how to manage the students, the learners. But although a teacher, a facilitator, an educator can have all those skills, we need the we need the teachers, the learners' parents. And parents need education again, because we are at a time that the children are managing and controlling the parents and no longer the other way around. And yes, I'm not saying the past was correct, was perfect, because due to the past, we have children that is scarred, that's bruised, that is scarred for life, mentally, perhaps physical, because of parents, again, because of abuse, domestic abuse in their homes. But I'm talking about parents, and parents, what's so amazing and strange to me is that in South Africa, we have skills development programs in the workplace. And there is parents that attend those skills development programs. Why don't they apply it at their homes? But then I answer myself in saying and knowing from experience, there's industries and there's industries. There are industries as, let's say, the technical side of and the construction side of the industries. They receive, let's say, for instance, a forklift driver. Not all forklift drivers attend a skills development course or a program in the workplace that teaches them communication, because it's not job related. What's job related? When we do skills development training for a forklift driver, it will be related to his job. It will be everything that the skills needed for a forklift driver. Or for, let's say it's a painting shop. They are spray painting cars, or a panel beating shop, or so that kind of occupations in that kind of industries, they do not receive the soft skills that's needed, like communication, conflict management, cultural diversity in the workplace, all of that. So the school, as a matter of fact, the school is a workplace. The school and education institutions are workplaces. The kids are just going to the institution to receive education, information, but it's a workplace. And the sooner we start with a change in a mind shift, so that we all understand our student learners are also clients and customers, and we can better our service to them, education service. But the sooner our parents attend training and workshops to understand that the school is an institution, it is a business where the teachers should also be respected. And other learners who are clients should also be respected. We have to do something. And if I can do my small input, which I actually did for 20 years since I've started in further education and training, in communities, wherever, universities, working with universities, with colleges, corporate organizations, in community development. But the bullies continue. I just want to share this, that we have to take hands in each country to do something to stop the bullying, to start teaching our children that we are all the same. We are all humans, created differently, each one unique differently. But my skin tone and my hair doesn't define who I am as a character, as an image of God. Whether my hair is curly or dark, or my skin is dark or light or tan, it doesn't define who I am. Whether I am thin or curvy or round or fat, it doesn't define who I am. And we should, every country should work out a plan, a strategy to really forcefully stop the bullies in school. Immediately, we have to take action. And words can make or break people. I thank God for what I've been through, and it's by His grace and by His wisdom and His Spirit in me that I could persevere through 8 schools, boarding schools, and survive. It's all by the grace of God. But thank God that I had an early intervention, supernatural, with the Spirit of God, who told me how to survive, how to handle, how to see these bullies. I didn't look at the person. I just knew there was a dark spirit inside that boy or that person or that girl who is attacking me. I never thought of looking at the person in flesh. I knew it's a spirit. It's an evil spirit. And we are only fighting spirits. There's dark, evil spirits who hate the design of God. And because you are designed in the image of God, evil, dark spirits hate you. And yes, those evil, dark spirits enter other humans who are badly, severely bruised or battered or damaged as children. And those children then become vessels of such evil spirits. And therefore, we need prayer. We cannot say we are Christians or we believe in a living God and we kill other people with a tongue, with our actions, with our words, and then others with their hands. May God help us. May God help us all to live our words, to be the example we would like to see and the change we would like to see in our countries. And therefore, the Go Girl Project, as I have already started in 1998 with the SA Charity Skills Trust, was an initiative of myself to cooperate with further skills development companies, Department of Labor, etc. Never asking for funding, but for a cooperation in supplying us with the necessary tangibles to be able to train, to be able to hand out and give to the less fortunate. Not food, but education. The SA Charity Trust, Skills Trust, is only a facilitating body. That we believe that teaching a man how to fish is much better than giving them fish for all their lives. We have done our best in South Africa. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, it feels like we are 20 years back. To me, it feels like 21 years of hard work in social development, education, training, motivation. It feels to me we are 10 years back. People lost their jobs, women lost their jobs. And you know what? The evil spirits know that if they can take away your money, your positions, your property, they take away your hope, your identity. That is what evil spirits is doing. So each one of you that listens to you, I pray to God that He touches your heart so that you can think twice for whatever reason you are on earth. Think twice. What's your purpose? What's your calling? Why are you on earth? And where will you go after you blow out your breath? Because as we as teachers keep record of and evidence of learning of every aspect of a student's progress and learning, the same way God Almighty has commissioned angels to keep record of what we do on earth. And it's all written in the books of heaven. So how does your book, your portfolio of evidence look in heaven? And after all, you can do all the good you wish, but what is in your heart is what God is looking at. He sees your heart. He sees your mind. God is a spirit, according to John 4 verse 24. And yes, that spirit I have met at a very young age. Therefore, I know it's true. That spirit told me what I will become one day, and I did. That spirit told me that one day he will touch my tongue and I will be able to talk fluently and talk with nations and inspire nations. And I have. But most of all, I didn't create YouTube channels for the masses to follow me. I created CDs and DVDs since 1990 something, whenever we could in South Africa, when it was possible in the late 90s, and made duplicates, created duplicates of CDs and DVDs to hand out into communities for free, to empower women, to teach them not only about dressing according to God's standards, but also to behave according to God's standards, to know the word and how to implement the word. And that is how each of us are called to live for the glory of God. We aren't created for ourselves. So think twice. If this message just encourage you today to think twice about your life, your words, and how you treat other people, your neighbor, anyone who looks different than you do, even the dog or the cat or the parrot, think twice. Because I promise you, there is a creator of heaven and earth. And I promise you, I know him, I've met him. I talk from experience, not from book knowledge. And therefore I say, as I'm not an academic, although I am in the industry of education and training, I'm holistic. And that's why the name Profile Dynamics, because God has given me that name. He said, you are a profile that is dynamic. I created profiles. Image means a profile. So you have to develop your profile, your image, according to the standards of a much higher standard, a kingdom that is above the kingdoms of the earth. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much that you took the time to listen to this end. It is a lengthy video, but I'm sure you can hear my seriousness, my heart and mind, and I hope that you will do something to make a change. I'm not asking you money. I'm not asking you to subscribe. I'm just asking you if you will think what small change you can do in your circle of influence, in your home, in your community. Because one day you are going to stand before a judgment throne, and God is the much more righteous judge than any righteous judge on earth. And he's going to judge you for your deeds. And you will see it all in front of your eyes. Nothing will be hidden. You will see it and you will receive your reward for whatever you did on earth. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day and we chat soon. Thank you for listening.